Welcome to the Free Game Don D podcast, life, family, and business.
Get on my nerves.
Yeah. Guys, listen, man. Today we're gonna be talking about quitting. Quitting, like why do people quit? A study said that basically 90% of people quit right before they're about to have a breakthrough. And not just talking about quitting as far as your dreams or business and aspirations. We're also talking about quitting on marriage, things like that. But we're going to start off talking about maybe business and goals and things of this nature. Like, why do people quit?
Yeah. And this also can sometimes be a touchy subject for some people because they don't even realize what they're doing. They don't realize that they're selling themselves short. You know, they just look at it like, okay, this isn't for me. But they don't ever really maybe look to delve in and pinpoint exactly what the problem is. Like what was it? You know, was it the endeavor that you were going on, or was it you? And a lot of times the reason why we quit is personal. We're giving up on us, on ourselves, within a situation. And that's a hard pill to swallow once you realize that's what you're doing or that's what you've done.
Yeah, and I thought that number was really wild. 90% of people quit before they're about to have a breakthrough. And I guess that happens because there's no tangible evidence that you're about to have a breakthrough. Right? So you just got to keep putting in work, and then one day it's like, boom, you had a breakthrough, but there's nothing to indicate that you're about to have a breakthrough. So I think people, I guess they end up quitting because they don't have. Well, now here's the thing, if you're in business, if you're on a job, if you're trying to achieve higher education, whatever you're trying to do, you should be measuring your success along the way. So I think sometimes people have a measurement problem as well because they're not keeping up with their measurements and they're not measuring their progress. So you'll quit without reflecting. That's why I always say, always measure backwards, right? Mm-hmm. So when you measure backwards, you're able to see, oh, okay, well, listen, I shouldn't quit because I was once, so much further back and I've gained a lot of progress here. So I'm not going to quit because now, I'm operating in what's called the gain and not the gap. And I'm measuring how far I've come. But a lot of times we stay in this gap where we're like, I'm not there. I'm here, which is a gap. There's a gap between here and there. Instead of going where we came from to where we are, that's gain. Yeah. And you can build off of that. And I think some people quit because they don't measure their gains. They don't measure their gains. And when you don't measure your gains, you lose sight of how far you've actually come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that. And honestly, unfortunately, as times go, because of course the times that our grandparents grew up in and the way things worked, and then our parents and now us, and even more so now our children, sometimes I think people will see things and they're expecting instant gratification. They're expecting bountiful benefits without even putting minimal effort. Okay, minimal effort. I'm here. Give me all my accolades because I'm here. But what have you done while you're here? What efforts? What have you put in to get anything out? And I think that's another problem that's going on in society. People are expecting something for nothing. And that's not the way it is. To be successful or to get certain benefits, you have to earn them. They're not just given. It's not just given. You actually have to put forth effort. And I think sometimes people will look at that and they'll feel like, oh, that's too much. Oh, that's going to take too much to do that. They see somebody in a position that they would like to be in, but then once they find out what that person may have had to go through, and your situation might be different. You may not have to go through as many obstacles as the person that you're looking at that went through it to get to where they are. But because they find out everything that the other person had to do, oh no, that's too much. Never mind. It's not worth it for me. And you're cutting yourself short. You're cutting yourself short because everybody has limitless potential as long as they believe and have the right mindset, you can do whatever you put your mind to. But we ourselves as human beings will put limitations on our own selves.
Yeah, I like what you said about mindset because I was talking to somebody and they said, well, this person is quitting this particular opportunity because they don't get on calls, they don't engage and get involved with the group because they feel like, oh, it's just a bunch of hype talk and things of this
Rah-rah
nature,
and stuff,
rah
yeah.
rah. But here's the thing about winners: winners understand that energy equates to winning.
Yes.
Being around other winners, getting that energy equates to you winning because it's very hard to succeed. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, for instance, right? People sometimes will start a business expecting a business to pay them like a job without understanding that in a job, you get paid just for showing up. In a business, you get paid for results.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid for what you have actually done. So once you take that leap and decide, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, you basically decided in your head, I'm getting paid for results now. And that's a different level. That's why everybody can't do it. Because some of you just want to get your degree and you just want to get paid for your degree. You just want to show up. Oh, well, I got this degree. I just want to get paid for showing up.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, I'm going to do my job. But I feel like because I got this degree, I'm entitled to this salary.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, you got to win every day. Right? You see an entrepreneur that's successful, your best bet is to sit down and go talk to him because that's someone that achieved a level of success that you probably can't quite imagine because that's someone that has basically decided, I'm going to win based on my results.
Yeah.
I'm going to win based on, how I can help other people win, right? I'm only going to get paid if I get the results. And when I don't get the results, I won't get paid, and I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. That's a different type of mentality, man. You don't get paid for showing up. You show up all you want to. If you didn't get the results, you don't get paid, right? And you have to adapt just a different mindset in order to win in that space of business and entrepreneurship, knowing that you can continue to show up and show up and show up and show up some more, and you might not never get paid until one day you showed up so much and built so many relationships. Like I say, your network is your net worth. You shaking enough hands, and now all of a sudden things are starting to blow up for you, right?
Yeah.
But that's what is required. But some people quit just before they're about to have that breakthrough, because there's nothing that tells them that they're about to have that breakthrough. There's nothing that tells them, unless they're going back measuring everything they've done, unless they're working it backwards. The people that work it backwards, they keep up with everything. Sometimes I'll even ask brokers, I'm like, hey, do you know what your numbers are? If you don't, the only way to make your present bearable is to make your future bigger. Yes. Right. And if you don't know where you are, you have no idea where you're going. You have nothing to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Right. But I have a whole lot to look forward to when I can measure all of my current success and say, man, well, presently I'm here, but I have these future goals that are going to be so much bigger. Make my future so big that my present, hey man, I'm going through all of these trials and tribulations. It's all good because I've made my future so big. And I'm keeping up with all the numbers, all the measurements. I see my growth. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the gap. I'm in the gain. I have so much gratitude and gratefulness for my journey and every step that I've taken. And I do know that my future is big. So I'm going to continue to walk in my present until I get that future that I'm striving for.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Yeah, you better say it.
I'm just saying.
You better say it. And I think that's part of the problem. And just even in society, like, I feel like there's people out there, right? The ones that are struggling, the ones that are thinking about quitting, before they're just right there. And I think it's honestly because too many participation trophies have been passed out. Right. So, with the participation trophy, you basically are getting the trophy because you're there. You showed up. It may not even be on a merit of what you've put in to the team or into the project or whatever it may be. If it's your business, you know what I'm saying? When it's your business, entrepreneur wise, it's you against you. Right. So you have to show up every day. You have to check yourself. If your mindset is not right, you got to check yourself. Because if you don't, that's when you're going to decide to quit. That's when you're going to decide, oh, this is too much for me. And you might be right there.
Right there.
Right there. Tomorrow might be the day that things just open up, boom, and blossom for you. But you decided to quit.
Mykel, talk about your mindset. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about, you've been in corporate America for, your whole life until I came to you in 2018, and we embarked on a journey together. But your mindset was, hey man, right now I can show up and just show up on, at my job and get paid very well.
Yep.
With you, if we and you partner together, we have to actually go out and get results, man. So how did that mindset shift happen for you?
Honestly, there was a shift even before we got into this business. When I first got with the company that I was working for, I joined on, but I didn't want to be just a worker. Right now, we have people that you'll work for a company and you take joy in making that company flourish. Right, and then there's others that they want to use where they're working to then be able to open up and start their own thing. Right. And that was,
hold on, because you just said something. I want people to make sure that they get this. You talk about using your job.
yes,
I always tell people, don't do your job. Use your job. Leverage your job. If you got something else you want to do, you leverage your job. So I like that. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. So of course, when I got onto the job, it was entry level, but I knew that I knew more than the level that I was on, right? So of course, my next thing was, okay, well, I'll start out as an employee, and then I want to move my way up to maybe a manager, supervisor of the department. Because see, in my mind, I have an IT background. So in my mind, I wanted to learn how to use the company, I'm in IT, so use others to help me keep the department running well, because I wanted to have my own IT consulting company. I didn't want to necessarily work for the business, but I wanted to get to the point where that same business that I'm working for, they contract my business to fix their computers or to fix their servers and things like that. So that's where I was going. And so I realized with having an associate's degree, well, I need to have a bachelor's degree. Now, in New York, having an associate's in my portfolio would have been enough for me to get a manager level. But here in the South, it's different. They look for the paper first, right? So I go to school, got to get a bachelor's in computer science. Wonderful, great. I hate math. Matter of fact, I felt that math hated me. And so I almost quit on my bachelor's degree because I was like, I just can't do math. This is too much. I don't want to do it. Math hates me. No, math doesn't hate me. Math don't know me. I hate math. And so I'm setting myself up for failure because I wanted to stop trying. Thank God I didn't. Kept on trying, got my degree, boom, 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 fast forward to where we are. I say all that to say that we can get in our own ways, right? And the smartest thing to do, the smartest things to do is that if you know that you want to do something, number one, don't give up, but make sure you keep the right mindset. Check yourself. I had to check myself several times. Girl, you're getting in your own way. You're limiting yourself. You would not have been put in this position to overcome certain obstacles if it wasn't something that you were supposed to learn, whether it's about yourself, whether it's about the field that you're going in. Maybe you need to go another direction. I don't know. But if you give up, you will never know the levels that you can be. And everybody doesn't have that in them. So it is also good to make sure that you keep yourself in a circle around others that may be more focused than you, may be more driven than you. So that way you don't have to just rely on yourself to get you where you need to be. You've got other people that you can pull from, other people that you can look at and not say, hey, reach your hand up and help me up, but to say, I'm coming, and you pull your own self up. That's strong when you can pull your own self up out of a hole because you see that you can achieve better. You see others doing it and you believe that you can too.
Yeah, I always say, yeah, you're right, Michael. That's dope. Yeah, I always say proximity to greatness is the great equalizer, man. So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to believe in what other folks believe in you until you can believe it in
Yourself.
yourself, right? Sometimes people see something in you, and you have to believe in that until you believe it yourself. Now, once you believe it yourself, like Kanye, you can't tell me nothing.
That's
But you're
right.
gonna, but it does take. It's a process. So when you're around other people that pour into you, that's what we talk a lot about mindset. A lot of times, we're big on mindset. We're really big on mindset, and I think sometimes it may sound redundant, but your your body goes as your mind goes, right? I was on an expert call with someone that I have a high level of respect for, a 9-figure guy, but he started with nothing, right? But his mindset was different, and he kind of shared some of his struggles. And I think a lot of guys look at him and they admire him for the wealth he's built. I admire him because I've known him for quite some time, for probably almost 10 years, and he's been the same guy
Mm.
since I've known him. And but his mindset, sometimes your bank account changes, but your mindset, that's always been the same. He's always
Yeah.
been that same guy, right? So it's even like me, like, hey, I'm the same Donald Doe, same energy. Other things change, but like the mindset, oh, this is who I am, right? This is who Mykel Doe is, right? This is our energy every time you see us, right? And the bank account is a byproduct of our mindset.
That's right.
So that's why mindset is so dope to be connected with the right people, because your bank account is a byproduct of your energy and your mindset and how you approach life,
That's right.
how you wake up every day and approach life, right? Your bank account is a byproduct of
Hmm.
how you handle life and how you wake up in the morning, and your level of gratitude for just, first of all, just waking up, right? And just having that opportunity, right? So I always tell people, man, like, just listen, man, if you're not having the kind of success you want, remember this: diluted focus equates to diluted results. If you're not all in, you can't get it all out.
Right. That is so right.
You don't get to be halfway in and get full results.
No,
And I see that sometimes with some people. They're like, oh, well, this isn't working out. No, you ain't working out. That's the problem.
that's it.
It's working out fine.
That's it.
You're not working out,
Hmm.
right? And the first thing we want to do is, oh, well, this is not for me. No, you're not for you. You haven't become who you need to be so that you can grow and go to the next level in life.
Yeah.
Ain't even just about business or whatever you're trying to do personally. It's you haven't become who you need to be to continue to grow, and you need to be around people that can help you with that. Your proximity to greatness literally is a great equalizer and a game changer, and you don't even know it, man. You don't even know it. So I just tell people, man, you just don't get to win unless you're all in. And even if you're leveraging your job and building something on the side, when you're doing it on the side, you got to be all in. When you're all in, be all in. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say,
Yeah.
be committed to what you're committed to. If you're doing something part time because you got a full time job, be committed to that part time. When you're doing a part time, you be all in. You ain't got time for nothing else. Like, I got my full time job, a part time I'm doing this. I'm 100% in with that time that I'm spending to grow my business, right? Or to achieve a higher level of education or whatever else we're trying to do, right? I'm all in when I'm all in, right? So I always think that that's great, man. And marriage, I mean, getting into relationships and marriage, sometimes I see people say, well, marriage is hard. I said, marriage ain't hard. People are hard. People are hard headed, right?
Yes. That part.
I mean, you go before the pastor, you get married, and you commit to being one. Then you get married, and then you're two. And you say, "Oh, this is hard." Yeah, of course, it's hard. Both of y'all are working against each other. It's always going to be hard when you come together to become one, but we got two separate agendas, right? I'm trying to save and invest, and you're trying to spend. This is a problem. This is problematic.
Yeah.
This is big time problems, right? So I always think that that's weird when people say, well, this marriage stuff it's just hard. I know I put something up on social media one time and someone shared it, and they made it into a healthy debate, which I certainly respect. But I think a lot of times people forget marriage is marriage. Marriage doesn't have any emotions or any feelings. It's people. right? It's people, man. I remember when I went through a divorce, I never had any negative, you know, connotations toward marriage because I know that the arrangement of marriage is fine. It's not. It's not that. It's people, right?
Mm-hmm.
People make marriage bad, right? Because people don't want to be committed to each other. They don't want to work for a common goal because we're all trying to achieve our own goals, right? So we don't want to work together with a partner for one goal. And we're working against each other constantly, but then we're like, oh, this marriage stuff is so difficult. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This stuff, it sucks. This is so hard. No, you're hard. Get it. And that's the problem. You're not working together. You're not working for one common goal. And that's the problem.
Yeah. And I so agree with everything that you said.
I'm just saying.
Because it is true. I mean, even, okay, think about, let's take it back to when you first see somebody, you first meet that person, right? And you realize I'm interested in that person. I'm going to go over there and see what's up, right? You are like, you got your foot on the gas.
You all in on everything they're doing, right, Mykel?
Yes, you got your foot on the gas. Excuse me. And then as you all get to know each other and you decide, okay, we're going to make a go of this, you still got your foot on the gas, right? Excuse me. Then it leads up to, okay, I think I want to be with this person. I'm going to ask them, can we take it to the next level? Excuse me. Goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. So you decide.
Are you okay?
You do it.
Okay, listen. So basically, I'm just gonna say this, man. I think
What
that
I'm getting to is that you put your foot on the gas, but then when you get to marriage, you think you can take your foot off.
yeah. You okay? I'm just trying to make sure you're not dying over here.
I'm over here dying trying to get a point across. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Okay, so you're doing all this, and then when it gets to marriage, or let's say you come up, there's some issues along the way. People will use, oh, well, if we get married or if we have a child together, that's going to fix it. But you forget about all the stuff you were doing in the beginning to work together. When there was an issue when you all were dating, you worked on it. You sat there, you listened, you didn't assume, right? But it seems like when people get to a certain point, sometimes they will then take their foot off the gas and think that it's just, they can just coast and everything is supposed to stay perfect. All the benefits are still supposed to keep pouring in personally, or our relationship should still be just as good because we made it to another level and now we can coast. No, you still have to clock in. Every morning that I get up and every night that I go to sleep, I'm clocking in to make sure that I'm being the best mother since we have children, the best wife to my husband. I've got in-laws, so I got to be the best sister-in-law, the best daughter-in-law. Like, you have to make sure that everything you did in the beginning to get where you are, you have to keep it going. You can't just quit and just say, okay, I'm good. Or when obstacles come, you decide, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to give up on this. We just can't agree, so forget it. What?
Yeah, but I think that quitting in a marriage comes from just two people just not being on the same page. That's why you hear that a lot of times, marriages end and they say irreconcilable differences, which basically mean that we're not working together, right? He's doing what he's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. And as someone who has, certainly filed for divorce on irreconcilable differences, that certainly was the case. We're just both doing our own thing, right? And you're expecting to have a healthy relationship with two people that are literally who vowed to come together as one, but now are doing two separate things with two separate agendas and then getting mad at each other for not following the agenda of the other, which is asinine, doesn't make any sense, right? But that's what happens a lot of times, man. And so now it's like, oh, this just isn't working out. Of course it ain't working out because you're not working it. Right? You're not working it the right way. So it's not going to work out. It's not designed. Marriage is not designed for you to be partnered with somebody and both of y'all having two separate agendas. It's not designed for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to argue with nobody about marriage because I understand how marriage works. Marriage works. Two people have to be on the same team.
Very much so.
If you're on my team, but you know if you got a contract with another team, that's a conflict of interest. Or if you're on my team and you
sandbagging,
you ain't following the playbook.
Nope.
We agreed to a certain playbook, and we agreed to throw the ball, and you're out here running. And listen, man, we agreed that we were going to do this, and you said that this is what you agreed to as well, and so we're supposed to be on the same page here, but we're not, and then it becomes problematic, man. And I also believe that and quitting was a hard thing, even in my first marriage, because one thing about me that I truly believe is that I don't want to quit because someone is watching me for duplication of what's possible. So I don't like to quit anything. Right? Even in business, I'm not trying to quit anything because someone is watching me for duplication. Someone is watching you. And you're quitting, and what you're doing is you're teaching them that this is what they should be doing. They should be quitting. You're setting the standard for your children. Every time you quit, every time you give up, you're setting the standard for your child. You're setting the standard for your relatives and anyone else around you that, hey, man, you know what? Things get hard, just quit. Things get hard in business, just quit. That's what my cousin did. That's what my brother did. That's what my mom did. My dad did. They quit. Quitting is a learned behavior.
Yes, it is.
People learn how to quit, right? People learn how to quit, right? So someone is watching you for duplication of what is possible. And I just truly believe in order for certain cultures to grow, they have to start seeing positive examples of what is possible.
Yeah.
You see plenty of negativity. We don't have to go far to see negativity. You just cut your phone on and go into any one of your apps. You'll see all the negativity that you want, right?
Yeah.
Negativity on demand, right? But positive influences are hard to find, and they all start at home. Don't quit because you're showing your children what you're duplicating to your child, like what is and what isn't possible, right? Like you're showing them what's possible. And when you quit, they believe that it's not possible. Mama quit, daddy quit on their dreams, on their education, at their job, on entrepreneurship. They quit, right? And like I say, a lot of times it's kind of hard because there's nothing to tell you that you're almost there.
No.
Entrepreneurs, man, they just keep going. You don't know when you're almost there. You just keep going. You got to have faith. They got to have faith in you. Listen, man, I just think this quitting thing is such a big thing because, we see people, that quit, and we're like, man, first of all, what the people that annoy me when they quit are the ones that didn't try. Those are the ones that annoy me the most because I don't know if they had and I think you talk about expectations. Sometimes people start things with an expectation that, oh, this is going to be real easy. I'm not going to have to put forth any effort. And then when they have to put forth effort and actually, do more and become more, then it's like, oh, this is too much work. Right. And then they quit and they'll blame everything around them except for themselves.
Yes.
You're the sole reason why it didn't work out, but you don't even acknowledging that, right? That's why I'm always talking about controlling the controllables, because once you fix you, all these other things, other things can be changed, but like you're taking you to the next opportunity.
Yeah.
You're taking yourself, your low energy. Like I say, people with low energy have low net worth. You're taking your low energy, your bad habits, your poor discipline to the next opportunity, and you're still going to lose. Period. You're going to continue to lose, right? It's not, you can blame everybody you want to blame. It doesn't matter. You're going to continue to lose until you understand that it's you. Until you understand that, it's never going to work out in your favor, right? Till you understand that it's you.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest problem for a lot of people because it's easier to place blame elsewhere. It's easier to blame somebody else or blame a situation or, oh, it's not my fault, or come up with excuses. You have this saying, excuses are for losers, right? And honestly, some people, they may feel like that's disrespectful to call me a loser. But, if you don't have a growth mindset, a winning mindset, if you're not trying to stay on the positive and be optimistic, if you're dwelling in negativity, then
Yeah.
you're a loser.
Yeah.
That's not a winner.
Yeah. Because that's
Winners
a loser
win.
mindset, right?
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
a loser mentality when you're dwelling on the negative, the I can'ts. It's not I can't, it's I won't. That's what you're really saying. When you say I can't do this, you're actually saying I won't do this.
Yeah. No, that's strong. I know one time you were talking about the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, and so people sometimes, if their mindset is fixed and things don't go the way that they fixed in their minds that it should go, then they quit because they don't have fluidity in their mind. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, and this is what I truly believe. I say you can have a fixed mindset when it comes to the results you want, but the process as to how you get there should remain fluid.
Yes.
Right? Processes can change, and how you get to where you want to be at. Your results in what you want out of this life, whether it's personally or marriage or whatever else, those results should be fixed. Everything else is about growth, and because you're going to continue to grow in your life journey, and you're going to realize that what got you here won't get you there. So you're always growing and evolving, right? So, and because of that, you can't really have a fixed mindset on the process, just a fixed mindset on the results that you want. And then you're going to kind of find out that the more you grow, even your results are going to be bigger because you're going to continuously be growing in your marriage or growing in your business or growing in your education. You may have been someone with a bachelor's degree and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get my master's. And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep going for my doctor, because maybe initially, your results were just like, I just want to get my bachelor's degree. Got that. It's like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep going. Right? So now, the dreams and everything gets a lot bigger, right? Everything gets bigger, so I think that's great, man. But I think that a lot of times people don't understand how important their mindset is, even about marriage. Like you talked about how, you wake up every day to clock in. Every day. Like, don't take any days for granted. Like, my job is to wake up every day to be the best husband, father, businessman, brother, son, mentor, to everybody that's in my circle that I'm affiliated with, right? Mentee, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be the best teacher and to be the best student as well, and that's just something that, you continue to get better and better and better at, as life goes on, and you continue to clock in, to do these jobs or to handle certain responsibilities and obligations every day. You don't take any of it. I don't take any relationship for granted. Quitting it's just not an option. People say that, and some people don't realize that's how some people truly live. There's a reason why some people just don't move around a lot. Like, they're not all over the place, right? like they're, once they do something, they're in it for, 20, 30 years or whatever the case may be, like, or they, once they get in partnerships and relationships, that's who they are. That speaks to their character. They don't run around. They don't quit, right? They work on things. They work on relationships. They understand it's a continuous process when it comes to relationships. Me and you are always working on stuff, trying to be better in our marriage, be better with the kids, always being conscious of everything that's going on with the kids, being conscious of everything that's going on with each other, conscious of going on with our business partners, asking questions about, hey, I'm noticing these changes, blah, 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 blah. Let's see how we can work together a little bit better with these things or whatever the case may be. People that work for us, communicating with them about certain things, people that partner with us, same thing, man. So, so I think a lot of people quit because they just don't want to do the work sometimes. Or maybe they had an expectation that it wasn't going to be work.
Yeah. I think that's usually what it is. That they didn't realize I have to do all this. I got to do all that. What? Like, even with us in our industry, in the insurance industry, you have to certify every year to continue to be able to write with your carriers and things like that. That's, to somebody else, they're like, wait, I got to do this again? I have to do this every year? Test with several carriers? Nah, I'm okay. Yeah. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just going to do this one carrier that I don't have to do that major test with. I'm just going to write for them. Never mind everybody else, But the thing about it is that it's worth it. Like, once you put your mind to it, you overcome your obstacles. It's like how they say success is on the horizon. Once it's done, it's so empowering knowing that I overcame this obstacle. Now I'm ready for the next, right? Like, I cannot be defeated. But you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right people around you to keep you encouraged, because we're all human. We all have that little, thing that creeps up. Shoot, about 20 minutes ago, the devil was trying to take my words from me. I'm trying to give y'all some jewels and choke me up and everything. You know what I'm saying? But I got over that, right? I overcame that obstacle. That's right, because you're not going to keep me from saying what I need to say. That's one thing about a woman. We're going to say what we need to say.
Well, I can't see it. You definitely will.
Oh, hush up.
Yes. Well, listen, guys, man, we're going to wrap this up, man. Just remember, man, when you quit, you rob someone. You rob someone that is watching you of what's possible. When you quit, you rob someone that's watching you. And here's the thing, you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's watching you. You just don't know, right? But whoever they are that are watching you, and you may think, hey, nobody's watching me. Someone's watching you, right? Don't rob them of what's possible by quitting. Listen, guys, that's going to wrap up this segment of Free Game Don D, Life, Family, and Business.